Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, then welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today with the first part of my October 2020 wrap up, and in the first 15 days of the month, I read 8 books. And I have made a decision that even now I'm going to cut down my job into smaller pieces so that it will be easier for me. I've already made sure that I post 2 videos for each of my wrap-ups every month because I read close to 15 or 16 books in a month. So what I did was, when I had completed reading 5 books, I filmed a video with my reviews in them, and that is what I will continue to do. As and when I get the mood to film off the videos for the books that I have already read, then I will keep filming in batches and I will upload it as one video. So now the first part of my October wrap-up has 2 parts, one which I've already filmed and one which I'm now filming. So without further ado, let's get into this video and let me share with you all the books that I read in the first part of October 2020. Today is the 9th of October, and as I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to talk about the 5 books that I've read so far this month. The first book that I read in October was Ritu Veds Chandni by Ameya Narwankar. I got an arc of this book from NetGalley, and this book will release in December, and I hope every one of you go and get this book because it's so beautiful. It's very short, it is illustrated, and it talks about same-sex marriage between 2 women. It reiterates the fact that children are pure. It is society that conditions them towards hate against one particular section of society, and the way Aisha is so excited for her cousin Ritu Didi's marriage to another woman is simply precious. It's beautiful, it's lovely, and I really hope that more people will read this book, and when it comes out, please go read it. It's one of the most beautiful things I've read this year, and the illustrations are A1. And I must also say that apparently publishers in India did not agree to publish this book, and it is so sad, and I hope that in the future things will change and that people will take inspiration from this book and will read more such literature, and more books like this will come out. A full 5 out of 5 stars from me. Next up is a book that I read for the 48-hour readathon that I hosted last weekend, and that is The Wild Way Home by Sophie Kirtley. This is a story of Charlie Merriam, who has been a single child for a long time, and years later his mom is pregnant and she is about to go into labor. But then when his brother is born, I think he has a congenital heart disease and he has to be operated on, and his parents' whole attention is on the kid. So Charlie is super angry that his parents are expecting him to be suddenly grown up about it all, and that his attention is being snatched by the kid brother. And you know why I'm smiling? It's because I was a single child for a long time, for 11 years before my brother came along, and every time mom paid attention to him and not to me, I would feel so pissed off, and I'd be like, you pay attention only to him. I was a melodramatic kid also, so I was like, oh Charlie, okay, he's your brother. Yeah, eventually I came around, and even we don't know what happens in this book. No, I'm not supposed to tell you what happens in this book towards the very end because it will be a spoiler. So Charlie runs away from the hospital. He's all angry and all that, and he sort of ends up in a place where he didn't think he would, and he meets new people, but he has to find his way home now because it's all wilderness, it's all the wild, and he has to find his way home. Oh, there's a lot. It's not that simple because it's going to be a while before you understand that, oh shit, so this is where he went. And I'm like, oh god, why did you have to run away? But the 11-year-old me, she was like, oh Charlie, I get you, I feel you. But it's okay. We got brothers who we love, so it's fine. But I really enjoyed reading this book because of the relatability factor more than anything, but also because the writing is super fluid. The children's books, yeah, children's books are simply beautiful in the way they are written, and they are simple, but you will also learn a lot from what goes on in here, and that's exactly what happened with this. Sophie Cutley has done an amazing job. This is her debut novel and I really enjoyed it to no end. I finished this in I think about 4 hours. It's that fast paced, and 4 hours was because I was like dragging my way through this because I didn't want it to end too soon. So yes, this is a 4 out of 5 stars for me, and I would highly recommend this book. Please do go and read it. It's really good. Next up is also a book that I read for the 48-hour readathon, and that is The Great Garden by Meg Rosoff. This is the story of an unnamed narrator who, along with their family of 2 sisters and 1 brother and their parents, they go to a beach house for the summer, and one of their parents' cousins and their spouse, they also live just down the road from them over there. And then during this summer, 2 people, Kit and Hugo, they come to live with them. They are related somewhere to the cousin, and the way this story all pans out, the way their relationship changes from one color to another, and the way they realize truths that everything is not what it seems to be, or everything is exactly the way it seems to be. The revelations that go on there, they are simply stunning. I really enjoyed reading this book in a way that you would enjoy reading a book that will tell you that whatever you've been thinking of so far, it's wrong, and in a good way. See, I realize that I might be talking in circles, but this is a book that should be experienced. See, if I talk more about it, I might just give away the whole essence of it, but I will also say that this book is an important one because it tells us about some human qualities of how they put on facades and how not everyone is the same. But yes, this is a book that you must read. It's a short book. This also has some 244 odd pages. That's not odd, that's even. Anyway, this has those many pages and you can just fly through it. I did exactly that. It will be worth your time. I gave The Great Garden 4.25 out of 5 stars. Next up is The Inimitable Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse, and I don't have to say in detail why I love P.G. Wodehouse, because the British sarcasm in his books is amazing. It makes me laugh every single time. And Jeeves, his dry wit, his "okay sir, as you wish sir." I love how Jeeves talks, and I love how Jeeves handles everything that Wooster throws up. And this is also one such book in which there are different events, but they are interconnected, and every time there's some faux pas that happens, and Jeeves always comes to the rescue. And I'll just say that The Inimitable Jeeves is yet another hilarious book from P.G. Wodehouse, and I love that I bought it, and I love that I read it. I enjoyed it a lot. I had actually started it in September. I was about 13% in, and then I read it for the 48-hour readathon, which was a great idea because I really needed the laugh. I gave The Inimitable Jeeves 4 out of 5 stars. Next up is Mouse by Art Spiegelman. This is a graphic novel. Art Spiegelman in this book talks about his father's experience in Auschwitz, in the concentration camps, and there's so much to unpack. It's not just about the concentration camp, it's about how those experiences changed his father. Vladek went from being a factory owner to a small business to a businessman, and to just another prisoner in Auschwitz, and in a lot of other places as well. And the way he worked through this period of his life and how he handled being away from the love of his life, it forms the entire story. But there's also the point where after the war, when Art Spiegelman is talking to his father about his experiences during the war, it also shows that racism can come in many forms, and everybody is racist in some form or the other. There is one, oh god, I don't want to give it away, so I'll just say that that's an important part of the story about how it affected the person that was Vladek Spiegelman, and how he came out of the war, and how he picked his life back up, and how he went forward. In this book, the Jews are depicted as mice. The Nazis are depicted as cats, the Polish people are depicted as pigs, and Americans are depicted as dogs. And I really liked going through each of the page, seeing whether I could recognize which character was which. I didn't just like it, I loved it because of how important this book is. And when I said in my book haul video, I think that this is one of the most appreciated graphic novels of all time. I now know why it is one of the most appreciated graphic novels of all time, and I'm really glad I read it. But yes, this is one book that you should definitely read. Please do check it out. I gave Mouse a full 5 out of 5 stars. The sixth book that I read in October 2020 was Slices of Life by Mrinalini Dapke. I already have a full video review of this book on my channel. If you'd like to go check that out, I leave the link here as well as in the description box below. This book is a short one. It has about 51 odd pages and it's a collection of essays drawn from the author's own life. What are the lessons that she learned and the questions that she raises related to society, to familial bonding, to friendships, and teaching kids the value of a lot of things in this world. Overall, I really liked it, although I do have a couple of issues with some points that the author has put across in the book. I have mentioned all that in my review video, but other than that, it was a good quick read and I gave Slices of Life 4 out of 5 stars. The seventh book that I finished reading in October 2020 is a book for a secret project, which I won't talk about in this video because a full video review will be going up next week, if I'm not mistaken. If my memory serves me right, then it should go up next week. And the eighth book that I read in October 2020 was a tome which I had actually started in September, and I should have finished it last month itself, but I didn't because of things. But the book that I finished was To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. The full vlog and review for this book is up on my channel as well. I leave the link here as well as in the description box below. I feel like I'm saying that a lot in this video. But this book is science fiction and it follows Kira Navarez, who after a routine survey finds an alien relic. And because of this, she is thrown into the midst of a huge interstellar war. And now she has to do everything she can to save the people around her and to save herself from becoming what she doesn't want to become. Does that make sense? If it does, I'm happy. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. This book is full of physics, okay? So if you like physics, then this is one book that you should definitely check out. But I am not a fan of physics, so the concepts were like, why? But I was really liking the plot, how it was going until it came to that end, and I'm like, there are a few convenient points in this book which I was like, okay, there wasn't there anything else to be done about this, but other than that, it was a great. I had fun reading this book, and reading this book while listening to the audio narrated by Jennifer Hale. That's the audiobook you need to check out, and I really enjoyed it because she does the voice inflections and narration really well. And other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say about this book because I've already spoken a lot about it in my vlog and video reviews. So as mentioned before, link in the description box below if you'd like to go and check that out. The intro to that video, which I'm really proud of. So please do go check that out and let me know what you think. I gave To Sleep in a Sea of Stars 3.75 out of 5 stars. So those were the 8 books that I read in the first half of October. Which ones did you read? Which ones did you like? Did you like this video? Which books are you currently reading? Which books do you plan to read in October? Are you already prepping for November? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.